there's the wrong one. Is that my neighbor? No, can't tell. Yeah, might be my neighbor.
Your neighbor over there?
It might be. Okay. We're going to test out AutoPilot. I don't know if this has been done too often before, if at all. I haven't seen it, at least. We've got some thick fog conditions here. Like, you can't see more than 15, 20 feet. And that's a perfect example. I just had it in AutoPilot as I was talking. And it seems the last 2 or 3 intersections I come up on, when you're in AutoPilot, by the time you go into the intersection, by the time you come out of that intersection, it can't find the other side of the lanes. So I'm going to stop here at the red light. You can see how bad the conditions are. I don't recommend anyone doing this. This is more for one of those situations where I'm doing this so you don't have to. And I have a passenger that's helping me film.
You can be my wingman anytime. Bullshit. You can be mine.
So my hands are on the wheel, as you can see. Let me put on the wiper for a second. No, that didn't make a difference. So this is how thick the fog is. And when I put the AutoPilot on, okay, sometimes it wants to go on, sometimes it doesn't even want to go on. Okay, now we're in AutoPilot. It's a 60 zone. I'm going to put it down to exactly 60. And what I find is, yeah, see, it didn't even, it came over on the other side of the intersection in a different lane. And if I didn't take over, it was going to scream and give me that big red symbol, or that orange symbol, where it means to take over. So after I get through here, I'm going to put it in AutoPilot again, if I can find the lanes. Just going to wait till I go over these railroad tracks. Okay, now it's a dead straight road, so I'm not too worried, I think. It is really hard to do. This zone is 80, but I'm only doing 60 right now because for safety reasons. So I'm going to try to put it in AutoPilot if it picks it up. Okay, so it's picking it up now. I'm in AutoPilot. I'm doing 60. Now, this might not be the best example. Actually, I'm going to cut this part out because this isn't a good example because there's not a light coming up here for...
No.
We're just past the 407.
Can you pause it for now?
No. Okay. Point down here. Show everyone that we are in AutoPilot. Well, and it just tried to kill us there. See, I have my hands on the wheel because it's very... you won't be listening. It's very dark. It's very dark. But you can see that I'm at traffic-aware cruise control at 60. It is an 80 zone, and you can see the conditions. There's a car in front of me with his hazard lights on, just for safety. This is like very thick fog. I haven't seen foggy conditions like this in a long time. But when we come up to an intersection, I'll put it on again and show you. So it'll be a long intersection. I'm familiar with this area too, so that's the other reason I'm doing this and testing this. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend anyone doing this. This is an experiment, so for me to do, so you guys don't have to, and you can see the results. So when you driving with your Model 3 or any kind of Tesla in fog, you know, probably, even though it may do a better job, or you think it may do a better job than humans, for the most part AutoPilot does, I wouldn't recommend it in foggy conditions. I really wouldn't. Because I don't even... Yeah, I know we should be coming up to an intersection soon. Let me put it in AutoPilot. Okay, it's in AutoPilot right now. We're doing 60. It's an 80 zone. Coming up to an intersection soon. The light just turned red, so that's not a good example. Because we're going to have to stop here. But if it was green, trust me, it would go through this intersection, and it wouldn't be able to pick up the other side. Okay, we're going through an intersection. We're doing 50, and there you go. It just came on saying to slow down. So actually, let me slow down. It's an 80 zone. So yeah, so we're continuing the fog. It is pretty thick. I estimate this fog to be like visibility maybe 10, 15 feet. Ironically, there's another Tesla behind me. It looks like a Model S. He's just following behind me, which is probably the smart thing to do. This is crazy fog. Like I would normally not... I guarantee you I wouldn't be filming if I didn't have a passenger, because you got to pay attention. You got to have both hands on the wheel. And for me to film, if I didn't have my camera mount, which I don't have with me right now, I wouldn't be doing it. Certainly wouldn't be doing it. Okay, we're in autopilot now. We're coming up to an intersection. I'm just going to show you what happens when you go through this intersection. And that is the symbol. Every single intersection we've gone through, that's the symbol I keep getting, because the autopilot just, it loses the lines, and it can't see far enough in the distance because of the fog to pick up the other lines with the camera. So the camera's like, okay, I don't see lines. I'm in autopilot. I'm doing 60. You better take over. That's basically what it's saying in a nutshell. Just screaming with the little beeps. So anyways, folks, I'm not going to bore you with any more of this. That is autopilot. Well, what there is of it, of autopilot during the fog, during thick fog like this. I wouldn't recommend using it. At the end of the day, this little non-scientific experiment is all summed up at the end of the day saying, even though autopilot's good and it's better than a traditional driver, it's probably not when it comes to foggy conditions. I think you probably knew that in advance anyways, but anyone that didn't know that, well, I just found out for you with the help of my friend and the help of Tesla and autopilot and thick fog. God knows when you'd get another chance to do this kind of experiment. So thanks for watching, folks. I'll talk to you later. See ya.